Yo everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing Batman The Dark Knight, issue number 4. Take a look at this comic cover right here. Now, where we last left off on Batman The Dark Knight, Batman and Flash were trying to follow up on some leads, which eventually led them to Poison Ivy. However, the Flash gets nicked by one of Poison Ivy's plants, gets injected with poison, and needs to run really fast so that the poison doesn't really kill him. Anyways, we jump into issue number 4 with Batman continuing to follow up on the leads with Poison Ivy. Now, Poison Ivy isn't actually in this issue itself. However, seeing that she's kind of a pseudo-good guy working with the Birds of Prey, kind of an anti-hero, she leaves a few clues for Batman to follow up on. In addition to that, throughout this issue, we get a bit of a theme that Batman could be hurting the ones he loves, like Commissioner Gordon, the new love interest that he has in this particular comic, whose name escapes me because she's really not that important right now, and Alfred, who seems to be getting older and his body seems to be failing him a little bit. I mean, that comes with age. Anyways, Batman follows up on this leads, and he comes encountered with two villains. One of which I do not want to reveal who they are because I want to leave it a little bit of mystery. But Deathstroke the Terminator shows up, who apparently is also feeling the effects of this mutagen, venom, steroid, pixie dust, Captain Jean-Luc Picard stuff that's in his body. I don't even know what to call it. I'm pretty sure it's Venom because one of the issues covered shows Bane, and, well, I mean, we could put 2 and 2 together, but it's a little premature to actually call it Venom. Anyways, Batman has a little bit of showdown with Deathstroke the Terminator, and then that leads into a reveal with a certain Batman villain. So, will Batman figure out who is supplying Gotham inmates with this venom? How does the White Rabbit play into all this? Where is Poison Ivy? And with the Justice League have their hands currently full, is Batman going to be alone through this whole entire mission? Just going to have to read and see. Let's get into the good, the bad, and whether or not you should get it. Good. Well, the story is starting to pace itself a little bit better, and it's actually starting to get a little bit more interesting. I do have the feeling that Bane is going to be part and parcel behind this. Maybe he may not be the grand mastermind, but he's definitely the one supplying the venom. Because, again, the solicits for later issues, I think at 5 or 6, it might be 5, 6, or 7, one of the 3, has Bane on it. And it kind of just leads us to believe that he's the one behind it. But anyways, I also like the random occurrence of characters that show up, the guest stars. Granted, they don't last for very long, but Wonder Woman shows up in this for a short moment, only like 2 panels. Deathstroke the Terminator shows up, which I'm very interested to see a Deathstroke versus Batman fight in the new DCU because, well, we haven't had that yet, and it seems as though, unless you're a metahuman, you're not going to be able to beat Deathstroke. So I'm interested to see how the Great Batman would survive against Deathstroke now. And the reveal at the end, well, isn't overly momentous. It is cool to see this character in the DC new universe and see them actually get used. So that's good too. And there's a lot of technobabble in this, but I kind of like the technobabble. And Alfred is consistently written well. He's probably the most well-written character in this. Bad. The Commissioner Gordon thing, that angle is just silly, and not silly, but I don't feel as though it's necessary. Although it's hinted that Commissioner Gordon might know who Batman is and just plays around the subject, it's not necessary for the story. We could use the panels for something else. The love interest for Bruce, I have no interest in her whatsoever. I barely have any interest in the love interest in Detective Comics. I have no interest in this woman at all, because nothing's ever going to come from it. Bruce is currently juggling like 17 women right now. Really? I don't care. And there's one part where Alfred shows up with ice cream. Now, this could come off as cutesy and nice, but it just kept on rubbing me the wrong way, and I don't know why, but I'm going to throw that into the bad. And although the story is progressing, and it's going at a good speed, I still feel as though I don't know any more to this than I actually did beforehand. It's like I'm reading the chapter and the story is moving along, but not much is being revealed. It's like, oh, we're learning this, but that only leaves open more questions. And I answer this question, but more questions come from that question. I guess that's what could make a good mystery, but at the same time, it could also make people confused on what's going on. On a whole, whether or not you should get it. Batman the Dark Knight started off as the weakest comic in my DC New 52 reading. Although it's not necessarily the best, it's starting to get a little bit better. I'm going to give this a solid 3. I like what's going on in this. I like this as kind of like a, I don't know, over-the-top Batman kind of series, which is him and guest starring many different characters and having these random adventures and stuff like that. It can be a little bit fun, and it's good to see a lot of characters being used that aren't being used in other Batman comics. Certain villains showing up and certain guest stars showing up is nice in that. Is it the perfect Batman comic? No. The story is definitely the weakest out of the 3 Batman books when it comes down to Batman Detective and Batman Robin. But like I said in one of my previous reviews, this has a certain charm to it. Do I recommend it to everyone? No. If you're tight on money, then you're probably going to have to avoid this. I would recommend this to the most hardcore Batman fanatics, plain, flat, and simple. The most hardcore Batman fanatics. And for those Batman fanatics, I'd give it a solid 3. So, yeah, it's getting a little bit better. Not quite top notch, but we're getting there, and I guess that's something. This is Andrew saying, peace out for now.